Okay, let's take a look at the stock market. We're going to look at the weekly, the daily. We'll take a look at a trade I made so we can look at that briefly. We'll also look at the trade of the day. So let's get started. This is the weekly chart. And you can see that, hey, this is finally hit resistance and got rejected, which it's been doing. We'll look at the daily chart here in a little bit. We'll talk about that. But so far this week, 74.5 has been the range. So not a huge week. Of course, we had July 4th, which shortened the trading week. But you can see here, July 16th, the cycle low right here, right there. Do you think it'll come into play? How far down will it come? Well, the high was 44.94. I can see getting at least 100 points out of that, 43.94. Might even get down to this 43.27, which is really not support, is more like resistance. Okay, so it's possible it could get lower than that even. Just looking at this chart, it's possible it could get down to that one, but we'll look at the daily for a little bit better zeroing in on the where I think the support might be. Okay. Still got pretty decent elevated stochastic momentum index going on here. The MACD yesterday on the weekly was 114. Today it's 111, so it has backed down just a little bit. You can see we had a little spike here in the certainty rate. And I did tell my members that I thought we were going to see a pullback here into July 16th, that it was possible with this spike in the certainty rate. Actually, I said I wasn't sure which way this was going to break, but don't be surprised if it doesn't break downward to July 16th, which is approximately where that weekly cycle low is. Let's look at the daily chart. So here we are on the daily chart, and it was a pretty decent day, a range of 64. And I talked yesterday about how the last 3 days we're just getting rejected off this 45.09 line, right? You can clearly see that 45.09 was acting as resistance. And then finally today, it really just said, okay, that's it, starting to pull back. You can see here the stochastic momentum index had made a nice big, and then now it's rolling over. Here on the daily chart, I reworked just a smaller cycle and found this cycle here, July 18th, is a cycle low on the daily. The weekly is the week of July 16th. So I think we're pretty good right in that area. This cycle looks pretty decent. You can see it right here. Little something right there. Little something right there. Enough going on here where I thought these green cycles right here were justified. So July 18th, yeah, I do think we'll get a pullback. We'll see how, like I said, we'll see how big it is. Now on the daily chart, you got 43.27 just like on the weekly. So, it could come all the way down into here. And there's a possibility it could get down into these candlesticks as support. Let's see, what are those? The lower one there is about 42.62. Not sure it's going to get that low, but just keep that in mind. 43.27, kind of the old resistance point. And then 42.62 might maybe get down there. It's possible. Okay, here was a trade I made. I just wanted to share this. I don't always share all my trades, but I might share them from time to time. Lately, I've been sharing them just so people can understand how I use my own service, my own techniques, and how the members use it. And for new members, this should help them out as well, so you can have a better understanding of how I would trade using some of the. And in this case, we're going to look at the GETUS Plus indicator, my own indicator, and you can see over here I circled this because I was making a trade very early, or I should say late last night. This was the 6E product. Okay, most of my members are trading the streaming charts that I have, which is the S&P 500. But I use some of the GETUS Plus on anything I'm trading. So this applies to S&P 500 as well. So you can see right here, there was a GETUS Plus alert that happened just before 1 a.m. And this wasn't the only thing I used to help place this trade, but this definitely went a long way into helping me make a decision to go long. There were some other factors involved here on some lower, on this time frame. I was also looking at the 15-minute I was actually looking at the 5-minute and the 1-hour chart and the daily chart the whole time I was doing this. So I made some bank coming up into here. I was pretty tired, so I didn't do much trading after that. You can see I made $200 and $25. Okay, so be encouraged, members, or those that want to think about becoming a member. Take advantage of the membership. In this case, I could see the MACD was getting above the zero line, right? It was starting to get above the zero line here, starting to go this way. I can see that the SMI was strong, right? It was just barely below the overbought line and started to curl up. That's a strong sign in this case. All right. And there's a little more to it than just that. As a trader, there's when you're making trades, there is what's called minutia. You're dealing with momentum. And I won't dive too deep into that, but you got to have an eye for what's going on in the market, almost minute to minute. In this case, every 5 minutes, right? Sometimes I'm looking at the hourly chart, sometimes I look at the 5-minute chart. It just depends what's going on, okay? So anyway, I just wanted to share that with everybody. Let's look at the trade of the day. All right, here we are on the 5-minute chart for the S&P 500, okay? This gets streamed live to my members 5 days a week, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. The 5-minute, the 15-minute, and 1 hour all get streamed live. Now today was, a decent active day compared to what's been going on recently. So we had double the range today, 64, instead of the typical 25 to 30 we've been having lately. Okay, so very nice day. So where would the trade of the day be? Man, there's several choices you could pick here, but the one that really stands out the most is this one at about what? I think it's 6:30, 6:15, 6:10 on the 5-minute chart, okay? So this one clearly stands out. The best one. Look at that. Wow. Right there. Okay, so right up in this area, we get the alert. And guys and gals, what can I tell you? Let me get rid of the daily. There we go. Get rid of those cycles. Those cycles don't apply to the 5-minute chart. Those are daily cycles. So there you go. Okay. Now, for new members and existing members, well, how would you trade this? How would you trade this? I get it. There's questions. Okay, we should be able to see. I'm going to put my mouse right over this. I want you to take a look at the SMI down here. Okay. We can look at the MACD as well. As I hover over this is exactly when the alert came in. Now, in this case, it isn't always this way, but looking at the SMI right there, okay, by then, this was already curling up. That's not always the case. Sometimes you have to wait for this to develop, but in this case, at 6:10 in the morning, the SMI was curling up a little bit. So would I place the trade? I actually might place this trade. Okay, and then realize, oops, right? Oopsie. It starts pulling back. Get out of the trade. Close the trade. Once you did that, and then take it and go for a ride, because then you could see the MACD right around 645-ish, right in this area, started really to pull back. You close that long side trade. Maybe you lose a few bucks. Maybe you break even, whatever it is. Okay, and then you go with the momentum. That's how you trade, guys and gals. So, you got to get away from the mindset of that. If you made a bad decision right here, I'm just talking hypothetical. Okay, if you made a bad decision, don't beat yourself up over it and go, oh my gosh, I'm never going to trade again for the next week. And just, you gotta forget the past. You gotta forget the past in a hurry. That's how great champions are at life. They forget about the losses quickly and they move on to make even bigger gains. And that's true in life, and that's true in trading. So even if you didn't get this right and it wasn't going to the moon, don't sweat it. As soon as you got to that second or third candlestick going down, you saw this thing rolling over and the MACD got below the zero line, you knew that it was changing direction, right? So this told us that there was a trade coming. We just had to figure out the direction. In this case, the worst it would have been is you lost a few bucks, you got out and changed the direction and go for it. Now, truth be told, I probably wouldn't have gone long here because I would be looking at the hourly as well as the daily to know how to place this trade. I wouldn't just be looking just at the 5-minute chart, okay? But anyway, this was a great trade of the day. There was another one over here, obviously, that happened somewhere in this area, okay? But you didn't need it. At this point, guys and gals, you did not need a Get Us Plus alert. I mean, come on, give me a break. I mean, this is everything you need to know. You didn't need another alert to know this was going this way, right? Because this down here told you everything. If you wanted to wait for the alert, that's fine. You still made good money in this area up here. probably about 10, 15 points. All right. Okay, just real quick, if you like everything you're seeing, there's going to be a link in the comment section of the YouTube video. It will be the very top comment. It'll be pinned to the top. Okay, just click on that. It's going to bring you over to this server. Get a server, and then you click on server subscriptions. Okay, now those streaming charts I talked about and the alerts we just looked at, they all get, not only do they show up on the streaming charts, but they also get sent over to the S&P 500 alerts channel. Okay, this is where all the services take place. They take place on the Discord server. So you can see over here, look at all these alerts that came in today. Right? So remember I talked about the alert that happened at 6:10? There it is right there. It says 6:11, came in 1 minute later. So, you know, members can have their mobile apps or their laptops or desktop, whatever they have, and their Discord app can be loaded on there and they get alerted. Right? They're just coming here, they're right-clicking on S&P 500 alerts, they're clicking all messages, and they're sending the messages. All right? Same thing happens for gold if you want to get gold alerts, because I trade that sometimes. Commodities, right? Crude oil. Top 30 stocks for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ are in this channel. And then for those that want to do more like swing trades and you don't want to do intraday stuff, occasionally there'll be alerts that go into the daily only alerts channel. Okay, premium symbols, I'll talk about that here in a moment. All right. For new members, if you've got a lot of new members, that's great. Welcome new members. If you want a nightly email, put in your email address right in here, and I'll pick it up, and you'll start getting the nightly email, which is a chart of the S&P 500. I put about a paragraph or two what I think the market's going to do, and I usually mock up the chart a little bit. Now, just real quick, I've had a couple of members say, hey, I haven't got the email. Discord's been making everybody change their Discord names that had an impact on the nightly email. So, you know, I'm slowly catching up to all the name changes, so you will get the emails. I'm staying on top of it, so just be patient. Okay? So click on that link, come over to the Get a Server, you click Server Subscriptions. You're going to get this page right here, guys and gals, $7.99. Now, I have a big enough account to where, you know, I made $200 or $300 last night. But even if you have a really small account, just think of it as 1/10 of the size, you still would have made $20 or $30. I mean, the membership is going to pay for itself in the first couple of trades. You know, be patient, come in, learn a little bit, start doing the trade. I keep it cheap like this because, guys and gals, with high inflation, I don't want members freaking out and worried about how they're going to come up with a membership every month. I want them focused on trading and making money. So that's why I keep the price reasonable here at $7.99. I've seen memberships, to be honest with you, hundreds of dollars. And to be honest with you, a lot of them are garbage. So this right here is an extremely good value. All right, this is everything you get in the membership that's on the Discord server. All the membership services reside in the Discord server. I talked about the streaming charts, the S&P 500, right? The 5-minute, 15-minute, 1 hour. The S&P 500 alerts, talked about that. That's a channel on the Discord server. You get the alerts. You also get the 5-minute, 15-minute, 1 hour, and daily. The top 30 stocks to get alerted, right, for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. That's the stock alerts channel. The premium symbols. So the same Get Us Plus logic that I use for the charts goes out at the end of each day and gets the symbols for the futures, symbols for stocks that are optionable. It gets sectors and subsectors, or all the ways, you know, above that is industries. That would be funds that are rotating their money, right? Some people want to trade based on what big funds are doing. Okay, and then shorts. These would be, I have an algorithm that picks up symbols that look like they may be ready to short. All of these are files, separate files, that sit in the Premium Symbols channel in the Discord server, and I encourage members to use them. Some people don't. That's cool. I know we're all busy, but I use them, especially the futures. I like to trade a lot of futures, but I know a lot of my members like to trade options. Look at those files because you're going to find some really nice symbols in there, okay? And again, I already mentioned the nightly emails, so make sure you put your name or put your email in there, okay? And then, of course, the YouTube videos for everybody, both the public and the members, all right? Okay, guys and gals, happy trading. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.